If you are enjoying this podcast and other podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon Shop. Awesome t-shirts and mugs from your favorite shows so you can tout your podcast pride, all while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. And make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com and get your dragon swag on.
To this mythology, Paul's a connoisseur. Sarah has an interest, but it's all Greek to her. From Cronus's kids' weird childhood to what's going down in Hades' hood. These fables are bizarre but good. It's Mythunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Did you say misunderstood?
Yeah.
Like she's in a pageant or something. Yeah. I like that. Thanks for listening to another episode of Mythunderstood with me, Paul Bianchi, and her, Sarah Oliver.
Yeah.
Today we are joined by a friend.
Hi.
Hello, special little friend.
Ooh.
Who are you?
I'm Dyllan Christopher. I'm a friend of Paul and Sarah. So, yay.
Wow.
Aww.
I mean, I hope I am.
He put it out there.
I did.
Yeah.
You got to lead with that because then they can't really deny it on air. Right?
Oh, now we got titles.
Yeah. Thank you for being on today's episode. It's been quite a week.
Yes.
Things have happened. Things have occurred. The world has changed. Can you tell me, Dyllan? I feel like, I don't know, it's a different sort of podcast. Boy, let's talk about that. But Dyllan, what I'm going to ask you what I ask a lot of our guests, which is, what experience do you have in the past with Greek mythology?
Greek mythology is interesting for me. I had my myth phase as a kid, as most young reading-based boys do.
Uh-huh.
It happened.
Started wearing togas.
I read
before you moved on to
in high
collecting geodes.
Oh yeah, I collect many things, not geodes yet.
Uh-huh.
Might get there. We'll see. And then I like dabbled in myth, and then I studied folklore a little in college, but not really myth, more the like Märchen and like shared narrative side of things.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I love it, but it's not been one of my focuses.
You sort of dabbled in like the soft myths before you moved into like the hard folklore.
Yeah,
then.
hard shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good. Well, that's really exciting. If anything stands out as I'm recalling these stories today, feel free to jump in and be like, I know that, or say, I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Sure, it'll probably be mostly the latter, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's wonderful. I was inspired by this week of politics to talk about spirits. And
are we gonna drink some? Because that's what this week made me want to do.
I was gonna say I didn't mean alcohol, though I could certainly use one. Pod dog, bring me booze. No, and I don't mean that, but by spirits I mean personifications or daemona, as they are sometimes called.
Spooky.
And
I'm scared.
Unlike a god or a demigod or a primordial, spirits are more often invoked as opposed to like directly prayed to. So yeah, spirits. Many of these spirits were introduced on this very podcast on episode 3, all the way back when we talked about Greek Jesus, Prometheus.
They're spirits?
There were spirits because we talked about Pandora. And this is a Dyllan, you know this.
Were there spirits in the box? Is that what I'm remembering?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As a refresher, Pandora was given life by the gods, and she was given as wife to Prometheus's brother Epimetheus, the Titan of hindsight, which is what a wonderful gift he has to the world.
That could be my nickname, the Titan of hindsight.
Pandora was gifted or burdened with insatiable curiosity, and she carried with her a jar or a box that she was specifically instructed never to open, which of course she did.
Why is there a telling of it as a jar? It's Pandora's box.
Yeah, Pandora's jar does not have the same ring to it.
It's one of those things where someone who was listening recently was asking, like, how do you know which myth is accurate? And I'm like,
Well, none, because they're all made up.
Exactly.
But also all.
Yeah, because it's all that's the way old storytelling worked. It's just I say it. This guy repeats it. Blah blah blah.
Right. Like a hallmark of folklore is multiplicity and variation. It's told through oral tradition, and it branches and spreads and changes as it goes, right?
Yeah, and that's English is such a
You made a cookie for that. So
you do.
smart.
Wow.
Man, it wasn't a real cookie, guys. There's no booze. There's no cookie. I feel lied to twice already.
It's one of those things about how the way that language expands and evolves is that we have Pandora carried a vessel, and it was a vessel that had a lid. And so whether that's a box, whether that's a coffin, whether that's a jar is up to the interpreter of the original myth and how they're translating it or transcribing it through mostly oral tradition. So yes, sometimes it's a jar. But the boxes, there were not two boxes. The singular box.
Is it a jar or several boxes, Paul?
The coffin was filled with all of the horrors that plague mankind, including old age and deceit. Often the stories are told just like that these characteristics flew out of the box. However, they were all spirits with their own personalities and occasional associated stories.
Whoa.
For instance, among these spirits were Apathy, the spirit of deceit, deception, and fraud, as well as her brother Dolos, who was trickery, treachery, and guile. You can probably understand now after this week's discussions in politics why these spirits came to mind. Why I was like, oh, wow, this is what everyone's talking about. According to the Roman orator Cicero, they were the children of Erebus and Nyx, which means that they were born of these gods and then shoved in a box. Zeus came up to Erebus and Nyx, and he was like, hello, older revered gods Erebus and Nyx. It's lovely to see you, goddess of the night. And
I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
You're expecting. Good on you, Erebus, god of the underworld.
Yo.
He how was Babby made?
How girl get pregnant? Well, I don't really have time to discuss that, but I have a slight question, favor really to ask you for you.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, man.
As soon as your children are born, can I just shove them in this vessel? I haven't decided if it's going to be a jar or a box or a coffin.
Oh,
yet,
sure. Yeah,
but
they're like destined to be the worst parts of mankind. So just shove them right in there.
Excuse
thank
me.
you,
these are my
Erebus.
Yeah.
Hey, the men are
babies.
talking.
I know.
Too true. So that's what happened. Like these spirits were often the children of gods, and so this whole thing that happened with Pandora was so planned out that these spirits were born, and then all right, into the box you go. And it's not like this is the first time we've heard of this too. There's been other myths where it's like, and then this god was raised in a box with a snake, and when they opened the box, the snake made the women go insane, and they dove off the cliff.
That's always genius.
Yeah,
The way it comes
It
to
almost seems like
fruition.
more rare in these myths that someone actually gets raised by their parents than by like
Oh, yeah.
a box or a goat
A
or
goat!
like the ether.
yeah, perfect.
Box goat.
Box goats. So after being freed by Pandora, Apathy is most famous for being invoked by Hera in the work of Nonus of Panopolis, who famously told the story of Dionysus's birth. You're freaking out at me, Sarah.
Oh, there's just so many names.
Oh, well, Nonus of Panopolis. He's a famous
That's another Dr. Seuss name. I think you're crossing genres here.
Oh shoot, that's not. Yeah, Nonus in Panopolis was known for wearing his striped hat and had things 1 and 6 in there. He skipped the numbers in between. So in Nonus's tale of the story of Dionysus' birth, when Hera discovers that Semele is pregnant with Zeus's child, she goes out in search of the spirit of deception. Nonus's words, not mine, is that Hera finds Apathy in the hills of Crete, where she prefers to stay because the people of Crete are liars.
Ooh, burn on Crete.
Apathy is described as wearing a cincture or a rope around her waist that is said to hold, quote, all of the cunning bewitchments of mankind, trickery with its many shifts, cajoling seduction, all the shapes of guile, perjury itself which flies on the winds of heaven.
Sounds like a rad
Well,
belt.
yeah. What? Do you have a pick?
I don't. Hera gets really dramatic when she sees her and says, oh, Sarah, do you want to read this?
Yeah.
In your best Hera impression?
And drama, full drama.
Do you see that? It says Hera.
Good greeting, lady in wily mind and wily snares. Not Hermes, hoax the wits himself can outdo you with his plausible prattle. Lend me also that girdle of many colors which Rhea once bound about her flanks when she deceived her husband Cronus. Was that dramatic?
That was really dramatic. Thank you.
So it's a girdle of many colors too. It is a rad belt.
It is, yeah. Well, and of course, Apathy is like, well, it's more like a rope. It's not really a girdle. I have a great figure. I don't need a girdle.
None of that prattle.
So then Apathy is like, hell yeah, use my girdle. It's one thing about my girdle is that it's better than Aphrodite's girdle of seduction. Like mine actually works more often.
It's a sick burn, and I love you.
Yeah. So she lends her this, and in this tale, then Hera uses this girdle, cincture, rope, whatever it is, of deception, in order to disguise herself, so that she's in this original myth. I think we even talked about it, how it's like, what are these gods doing with these disguises when it seems so obvious that they're like, hey, Hera is the best goddess, and if you respect her, then you should, like, it always seems very clear that they're not who they say they are. But maybe with this rope of deception, Hera was able to trick Semele into what occurred, which was that Semele asked Zeus to prove his godliness to her.
Mm-hmm.
Show me yourself in your true form. And thus
And then he
Zeus
exploded her.
Yeah, Zeus being compelled to tell the truth to a fault, if we know our Zeus, then erupts into his true form, which is brilliant lightning and flame, and just like, I am God, and she bursts into flames upon this. And Dionysus was,
And they lived happily ever after.
happily ever after after. Yes. So that's basically what happens with Apathy. Apathy's brother Donus, after being freed from Pandora's box, got a job
At Dunkin' Donuts.
at Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, they're losing the donuts soon.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He ended up working as an apprentice sculptor for the Titan Prometheus. And Prometheus, if you remember, his brother Epimetheus was
Hindsight boy.
Hindsight. Prometheus
Oh,
is,
shouldn't have done that.
yeah, Prometheus is foresight. And so as Prometheus is the Titan of foresight, he must have seen everything that was going to happen in this arrangement. But he's like, you know what? I'll hire the spirit of trickery in my lab.
What was he hoping to gain from that? It's like, spirit of trickery. Yeah, good job. This is gonna bite me in the butt.
I mean, Prometheus is pretty wise, and I think he was hoping to teach trickery a lesson. But that's the thing with these spirits, is like they very much are the embodiments of these traits. So what are you really going to teach trickery? I don't know. Basically, Prometheus feels bad that his brother's idiocy led to the unleashing of shitty spirits upon mankind, and he wants to make up for it. So where there is deceit and where there is treachery, there must also be truth. So he sets out on sculpting the female figure that would become Aletheia.
This is post Pandora.
Post Pandora.
He's not chained up with his innards getting num
Not yet, no.
Okay.
He sets out on sculpting the female figure that would become Aletheia, the spirit of truth and sincerity. So as he's working, he is unexpectedly summoned by Zeus. Zeus is probably like, Prometheus, what are you doing?
Whoa, hey, I was working. Am I on Olympus now? Did this just happen?
Yeah, you're here on Olympus. That's great.
Hey,
I need your assistance over here. You see these chains over here? I just want to make sure that they fit you. Nothing is going to happen to you in the
future. Sounds completely above
Yeah.
board.
Actually, can you make your? I mean, you're almost naked already. Can you just like be fully naked? And I want to see.
Done.
Let me get a little. This. I'm just going to hold this vulture over next to you, and I want to see if it's going to enjoy
Nice
your
birdie.
scent. Oh yes, that's
bird,
good. That's very
yes.
good.
Hi, sorry guys. I'm a piece of clay, but I'm almost a person. He just didn't give me a butt yet. Could you let him make me a butt first?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I don't want to be some flat ass sculpture, you know.
Give her some donk, and then we
Thank
can
you.
continue.
Thank you. Carry on.
Yeah. Butt be upon you.
So while Prometheus was away, Dolus used the time at his disposal to fashion, with his sly fingers, a figure of the same size and appearance as Alethea. And he did this because he was like, I'm going to show that I am also this great sculptor. And then he's not going to be able to tell which is which. Like, this is his deceitful plan, which is so time consuming and so skillful too. He had almost completed the piece when he discovered he had run out of clay to use.
No, she doesn't get a butt either.
Oh
to
no.
use for her feet. He
Oh.
finishes that butt. In fact, he could probably take some off of the butt and the boobs to make the feet.
No,
but he's like,
she looks so good.
and he starts panicking, and he's like looking around this the workstation, and is like, where there's got to be more clay around here, and he's digging around, and right when he's in the middle of doing this, Prometheus returns from his chain and rock fitting and comes downstairs.
Is that literally what was going on?
I just made that up.
Okay.
I don't know. Part of this myth is it just Zeus summons him and then Prometheus returns.
Okay.
I'm
Some
giving,
of the shit gets so dumb though that I'm like, that's probably what happened.
I'm just trying to get like, because we all know, everyone clearly knows that that Prometheus is doomed
He knows.
to that.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows what's up.
So, so Prometheus returns just in time to see Dolus like sit down quickly in his chair and do nothing. He's like
Yeah.
very obviously in the middle of something, and Prometheus is sure that he is up to something. He is the spirit of trickery after all. And Prometheus says, oh my, how did this beautiful copy get in here? And without feet, how novel! Like
I love this George Takei Prometheus. That is the correct casting.
Oh my! And he looks over at Dolus and he's like, "Did you do this?"
Who? Me? With there's the feet thing. I can explain.
No, it's marvelous. We should bake them both right now. Correct.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
Throw
then
'em right
imbue
in.
them with life because
Of
they're
course.
both perfect the way that they are.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Dolus. And he decides to put both statues in the kiln as they are.
Why?
And when they had been thoroughly baked, he infuses them both with life. Alethea is just as he expected her to be. She is a treasure. Because she has feet, she walks with measured steps. Her twin, Logos,
Okay.
Wow.
became the
wacky.
became the spirit of falsehood, whose legs cannot carry her far as she has no feet. And this is something that
Kind of cruel.
Wow.
it's very cruel. But this is also as opposed to being a traditional Greek myth, this is an Aesop fable. And the Aesop fables in general are more about being metaphors and telling a lesson than anything else. So it's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to say a falsehood can seem very much like a real thing, but it is incomplete and not the genuine article. Optimistically, it states that a falsehood may start off promising, but that truth will always prevail.
Aw, that is optimistic.
It is optimistic.
And unrealistic.
Good old Aesop.
Good old Aesop. Alethea makes a second appearance appearance. Ooh, I'm throwing trills in. In an Aesop fable. In this fable, a man, let's call him George.
Marv. Oh.
Oh, do you like Marv?
Yeah.
Let's go with Marv. So Marv was walking through the wilderness far away from a settlement, and he's really cold and he's scared to be so far away from other human life. Who knows what one would find in the Greek wilderness. And on this journey, he encounters a young, beautiful woman, seemingly unnerved to be alone in the wilds.
Watch out, Marv.
And he feels he must protect her as
Calm down, Marv.
as she journeys back into town.
She's fine.
Because if Marv is cold and scared to be out in the wilderness, clearly this young woman would be even more cold and more scared than he.
Look, if I'm Marv out cold and scared in the wilderness and I find like a perfectly fine young woman out in the wilderness, I get more scared. That is some horror movie stuff right there. Damn.
And so he says to her, excuse me, my fine lady.
What?
Do you require my assistance?
No, I'm good. I have car keys. I have car keys in my hand.
And she also tells him that she is the spirit of truth, fool.
You heard?
Yeah. And he says, oh, my dear, sweet, ancient lady. And
okay, calm down.
And he gets down.
31.
He gets down on his knees and pays homage to her, and he says, why do you dwell here in the wilderness, leaving the cities behind? We need you.
I'm just chilling in the forest. Jesus Christ.
And she says, among the people of old, lies were found among only a few, but now they have spread throughout all of human society. So get your ass out of here with your lion self. And that's basically the entire Aesop fable right there. Is this? It's the question of like, why is there? I believe in truth. Truth exists in nature, but the closer you get to the cities, the more pervasive lies seem to become.
That's why we just gotta get out of the city, man.
Yeah, let's just go out there and just drive and dance naked in nature.
I feel like you lie more when we're in nature.
I do.
Eat that. It's totally safe.
You always
Don't worry about that bear.
So the spirit of truth takes on greater importance as a symbol as Western society progresses. And in Rome, she becomes known as Veritas, which has become widely known as the motto of Harvard, and Yale also includes it in its motto as well. But it's lux et veritas, or light and truth, for those playing at home. Then the philosopher Democritus, who's mostly known for atomic theory, he famously said, "Of truth we know nothing, for truth is in a well." And by that, he means, again, like...
Lassie came to him and was very scared for truth.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Truth is in a well? Tell me a little... but yeah, there's... it's sort of like with the box and the jar thing and the silver spoons, that the... when he says well, he basically means pit, abyss. Like it's truth is...
You gotta go fishing for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the darkness, and you have to find it. And even though it didn't mean a physical well, it didn't stop painters in the late 1800s from painting striking imagery of Lady Truth emerging from this well.
Ooh, the ring.
Mm-hmm. Most famously was Jean-Léon Gérôme's in 1896. With his painting entitled, what a short title this is, "Truth Coming Out of Her Well to Shame Mankind." It's exactly what it looks like. And she looks furious as she's leaving her well, and she's wielding a whip.
I need this on my mantle.
Well, and that's what...
I need a mantle.
You do. Yeah, and the reason that I particularly brought this up is because this image has been on social media this week.
This one has, huh?
Yeah, this painting of Truth coming out of her well to shame mankind. And it's been featured in this meme that's about where someone had said something along the lines of like, hey, let's not forget that the goddesses of liberty and justice are women. And then someone was like, and let's not forget victory. And then someone added like, hey, and here comes Truth coming out of her well to shame mankind. And then someone was like, yes, the 4 horsewomen of the Trumpocalypse. And so it became like a thing that people were sharing. So I guess I just wanted to give that context if it was something that you had seen, because I'd seen it posted quite a bit while I was
been
obsessing.
trying to throw my phone away from my face because it brings pain.
That's true. So if you think about this post in the context of Greek mythology, that is Dike, who is the goddess of justice, Nike, the goddess of victory, and Eleutheria, who is the goddess of...
How is Psyche not one of those sisters?
Huh? Or Psyche and Tyche? Yeah, they're not part... I mean, they're not sisters. They're just disembodied goddesses that are being lumped together for the sake of this meme. But Eleutheria is the spirit of liberty. And what's interesting about liberty, because I didn't know about this at all. This was something was a discovery upon searching this, is that I knew of the Roman goddess Libertas, which is our Statue of Liberty. But for the Greeks, Eleutheria was much more of a spirit, and in fact, she was somewhat of a epithet for Artemis, who was associated with having liberty, for having like free roaming in the woods, hunting. Like she had this like ability to have free reign and ownership over herself as a chaste huntress maiden. And so it's weird now I'll look at the Statue of Liberty and be like, oh, that's a big statue of Artemis, sort of, at least in its root. Look
at that big hoe.
Look at that big hoe. So one of the enemies of Truth was called Momus, and he was the spirit of mockery, blame, ridicule, scorn, complaint, and harsh criticism.
Of course, he has all of those.
He is,
and harsh criticism. The like god of like helpful criticism, much better.
Yeah, of course.
Constructive criticism, favorite god.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I love notes. Give me notes.
Momus was just the original troll, and just sort of generally sucks. He was also another child of Nyx and Erebus. So Zeus, of course, returned and said, "Hey, Nyx, Erebus,
don't answer the door.
I'm just gonna get right ahead of you. You want another one?
I want another one inside.
You got it.
No.
Inside this box.
No.
You got
just
it.
like, can you just Nyx? Will you just like squat over the box? And,
I just
out
had
another
a
box,
baby
baby.
shower.
well, it's gonna shower babies when Pandora opens this box.
Ooh, that's a good one, Zeus.
Thank you, man. Catch you later. So, despite Momus being all of these trolly things, he was selected as a judge in a contest between Zeus, Athena, and Poseidon, because they love their contests. And the contest was about who can make something truly good. So what do you think that they made?
Spaghetti.
That's a good choice.
That is a really good choice. What do you think, Dylan?
It's got to be some sort of a pastry, I think.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a baking contest.
Dang it.
So
What kind of contest is there? Best in show?
It's a bad bake.
So,
Soggy bottoms.
Dog thing?
dog thing?
Like an animal thing?
No,
They made
dogs
an
are
animal?
truly good. Yeah.
Well, Zeus went first, and he made the most perfect and immaculate man in his image.
He just made a hot boy?
He made a hot boy. Then Athena made a house. It's perfect. It's a perfect house. Look at the location.
What if it's a bar? Huh? Speakeasy? It's like an old Victorian house, and 3 a.m. rolls up, Mount Olympus starts shutting down. Dionysus falls like, "We'll come here, drink."
Yeah.
Finally, Poseidon made a bull. Like not like a bowl of spaghetti, but he made the animal, the bull.
Oh, a bull.
A
I heard a
bull.
bowl. I'm like, why does
Not
the
a-
god of the sea make a bowl? It's going to be always full.
But you understand why he made a bull the animal.
No.
No. Because he loves horses.
Poseidon, dude.
Bulls is Zeus's
What?
thing, right?
Yeah.
Because he thinks this contest is bullshit.
Maybe. So given that Momus was inclined to dislike them all, he was like, all these suck.
I'm with Momus on this one. Yeah.
Nothing here is truly
Do you
good.
even know what a speakeasy is?
I
It's
don't
after
know.
hours.
Everything here I see is fake and gay.
What the you are not invited. I'm just kidding. You can come drink with me.
All right. First of all, Poseidon, this bull you made. Why is its eyes underneath its horns? Like you should have put its horns underneath its eyes so it could see what it's about to gore. Like, you know?
But like then it couldn't see the ground and
Shh.
it eats.
Shh. Momus has spoken. Momus has spoken.
Ask me a
Wow,
question.
that's deep.
Yeah. Okay. And Athena.
I'm open to whatever you have to say because I like what I just heard.
All
brother.
right.
I liked it.
Your house is stupid
Whoa.
because
It's speakeasy, by the way.
Okay, great. Yeah, but here's the thing is that it doesn't have wheels.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
If you put
You're so
wheels on
fucking
this
right.
house, it
No.
can go anywhere.
Dude, I can take the bar with me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, my God. That's smart.
Yeah, thanks. See, I
All
knew
right.
you'd have my back. All right.
All right, you can come to my bar again.
All right. Okay, and
I'll bring my bar to you.
yeah, please do.
All right, goodbye.
All right. And then Zeus.
Look at this glorious dude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's super hot, whatever. Here's the thing is I think he needs a window.
I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
If he has a window in his chest, everyone could look into his heart and see what he was truly thinking.
That's not how you think.
Whoa.
So don't mind me. I'm putting wheels on my bar.
So honestly I mean I wasn't just inventing shit there. That's exactly how that story goes. That's an Aesop fable, and was Momus's criticism for all of their perfect things, which were not perfect either.
What happened to this hot window, dude?
What happened to the hot window, dude?
Yeah.
Momus pissed on him. I don't know. That's not the point of the story.
So I guess the idea is even if you make something perfect, someone can still like crap on it if
I
they're a
guess so,
Momus-y
yeah.
type.
But I think also one of the
Like the comment section of our podcast.
Exactly. There you go.
Oh.
I think what was trying to be said here is like particularly that that Momus does have good ideas. That at least that's what is trying to be said in the Aesop fable is that he's speaking harshly, but he still is speaking the truth.
What? Is that what you interpret?
Huh.
That's what it's supposed to be. Is that like a bull could see better what it's goring if its horns were beneath its eyes. Like that's part of the thought process there, and what good are it's like the ideas are there of like, okay, sure, yeah, a home gives you structure, but like this was a time when like being able to like quickly move your house from one area to another would be incredibly useful.
Like I feel like Momus would be the type to live in a Winnebago though.
Yeah, of course. Drawn by bulls with horns beneath their eyes that
Right.
can't see where they're going.
Right.
And then that last one is it's much more waxing poetic, but this idea of that if we could look into the hearts of our fellow man and knew their intention, that everyone would be more honest with each other.
I feel like it's people. I mean, this is just my interpretation of hearing it the first time.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's you when you make something and you're really proud of it, people will always try to change shit, give you unsolicited criticism.
Is this about the time that you made the perfect man and you put a window in his chest and I shat on it?
You shat on his heart.
I did. I was like, why is this window here if not to shit on it?
You guys don't go into Paul's house. It's disgusting.
That's okay. He'll roll it away next week. It's fine.
So the real end of that story though is that annoyed Zeus threw Momus, just like grabbed him by the ankle and just like tossed him out of Olympus.
Oh, I like that.
So we are gonna jump into one more spirit here. This is
We have spirit. Yes, we do. We have spirit. How about
Horkos.
There we go.
Yeah. So on the side of truth, Horkos, who was either the son of Eris, which doesn't make sense to me because Eris was goddess of discord, or the child of both Gaia and Aether, he was the spirit of oaths, and his job was to specifically punish those who committed perjury, and was a companion to the goddess of justice, Dike. So one of his stories is
So he's just a cop.
yeah, he's sort of a cop. Well, he's sort of
He's like FBI, really.
Yeah.
he's sort of along the lines of Nemesis and the Furies, in terms of like being in charge of karmic retribution for people. And so his story goes along the line of that a certain man, let's give him a name,
It's your turn.
Manny.
Manny.
Manny the man.
Manny the man.
So Manny one day met up with his other friend. We got people to name.
Oh. Clint.
Okay, so yeah, so Manny one day was working on his farm, and his friend Clint comes over and says,
Get off my lawn.
and says, "Hey, I need you to hold this money for me. Will you do that? Because it's just I have shit going down.
Rent's
and
due.
Rent's due.
And there's a hot sale at the mall, and I can't trust myself. Will you hold this?
Yeah." And then Manny's like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll hold your money for you." And then he looks in the bag. He gives him a bag of money, and he looks inside, and he's like, "God, this is a lot of money, and I would love to keep this for myself." Luckily, his house is on wheels, so he's able to escape really quickly. When that is actually what happens, is that he decides to take this money from his friend and leave the city and just take this fortune elsewhere, despite having shaken the hands of his friend and done a verbal agreement that he would hold this money for him.
He just rolls off in his Momus home and goes away.
Exactly. That's Momus starts after he was thrown from Olympus. He starts the business of Momus homes.
Mobile Momus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when he reaches the gates of the settlement that he lives in, he sees a lame man who is also on his way out of town.
Man, that guy sucks.
So lame.
He's walking with a limp, but he is also sort of lame. And when he sees him, despite being the sort of dick that would just walk away with his friend's money, Manny says, "Yo, dude, you okay? Where you going? What's going on?"
I'm pretty lame. I'm trying to get there, but it's gonna take me a while, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to be the god Horkos, would you?
Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. I'm Orcus. Better at these disguises.
So and Horkos says that he's on his way to track down evildoers. And that is one of the ways that Horkos is typically portrayed, is that he walks with a limp, is because retribution for wrongdoing doesn't always happen overnight. It might happen down the road. But it's
going to get you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so
Karma's going to get you.
oh, for shitting on windows.
My window.
I like that because that makes him faster than the lies who have no feet.
That's
You know?
true.
Yeah.
We need a foot race.
We do. That's next. Tortoise and the hare. So then the man, Manny, asks Horkos, so if you're tracking down evildoers, how often do you visit cities in case someone did something bad? How often, like, when would you be able to catch up with them? And Horkos replies, I I mean, I come back after 40 years. Sometimes 30. I don't know. Depends. And so Manny's like, okay, well, whatever. This is old times, and I'm probably going to be dead in 30 years, so who cares? So the very next day, he makes his way to another town, and he decides, you know what, I'm gonna spend all this money, and he declares very openly, like, it's fine.
I declare bankruptcy.
I declare that I will take money from people and not ever give it back. And as soon as he swears this oath, Horcus appears on like the gust of a wind.
Gotcha, bitch.
And just like imagine this like older looking spirit of a man just rushing towards you, grabbing you by the lapels of your collar.
I see him doing it kind of like a sideways horizontal lean.
Oh, but he has to grab the lapels of his collar because he, with the rush of the wind underneath him, he drags him all the way off of a cliff and is holding him above the crashing waves and spiky, jagged rocks below. And Manny's like, whoa, dude,
there was a deal at the mall.
I thought that you wouldn't come back for 30 years. What's going on? Like, you didn't even grant me a single day's reprieve. And Horcus says, you also need to know that if someone intends to provoke or challenge me, I am accustomed to come back the very same day. And then just goes, whoop, slipped my fingers, and drops the man off the cliff.
Whoa, that's pretty harsh for just being a little klepto.
Yeah, probably with the bag of money too. So the guy probably never got it back.
It's a lose-lose. That's the way us gods like to do it.
Yeah. So that was yet another Aesop fable. What do we feel like we learned from this?
It's good to have feet.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
But you know what? If you don't, that's fine too.
Wait, the feet thing was from another Aesop fable.
Oh, are you talking about this last one?
We're talking about this particular one, yeah.
What did I learn from this one? Okay. If you're going to steal money, don't talk
about it. Don't brag about it. You know?
Yeah,
if you're going to do something shady, just keep it to yourself.
In secrecy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty good advice.
I mean, definitely don't tell wandering gods. Like,
yeah.
That's pretty silly.
Don't approach limping people.
No.
Don't ask what they're up to. They're probably seeking revenge.
Look down and run. To the mall. Look down and run to the mall.
Unless you're a bull, in which case looking down might be hard with the horns below your eyes now.
That's true. Yeah, they got changed forever because isn't that great? That's the origin of why
that's
bulls
why bulls have horns below the eyes now.
Thank God they aren't. How terrifying would those fucking creatures be?
Oh, it's sort of it's
like a non-armored rhino.
Yeah, it's like a 2-pronged rhino, I guess.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a little scary. I said that and I'm like, wait, rhinos are also scary. So
yeah.
What am I talking about?
Hey there, I'm Momus, the spirit of ridicule, and boy, do I have a deal for you. Do you like vacations?
Yeah!
Do you like traveling in your house?
Yeah?
Well, I taken this here invention of Athena and I put wheels on it. You can take this house anywhere.
It's a bar. You can take the bar anywhere, and you can. It's speakeasy.
This is my associate Athena, and she is hammered.
You should have a password come in too, and I'll make it like a secret password. And it's like it's
quiet. We have a caller. We have a caller.
Oh.
Hey, Momus.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, could I take this to Sparta?
I mean, yeah, if you want to go to Sparta sucks. By the way, your voice is really stupid. You know, if you like deepened your voice, I bet people would like you better.
Oh man. So I am my friend Momus. You're such a bitch.
Click.
I'm gonna walk down the aisle to that song.
To the recording of you doing that?
Yes.
Of course.
And I'll marry myself.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Mythunderstood. If you would like to just like deeply investigate into Dyllan Christopher's back history of life, how can they find you?
You can find me probably by cryptically searching that name online, by going to @Dillmeister on Instagram, DYLLMYSTER. I don't know. I exist in various places. Most of it's just going to be photos of me doing weird hobbies.
If you try to steal, he will throw you off a cliff.
That's true. I've seen him do it.
I'm a gust of wind, man. I'm a gust
He
of
is
wind.
a gust of wind. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
You're our favorite pirate. Yes, we're pirates together.
Yeah, that's how I know them. Yar.
If you want to follow Mythunderstood, you can find us on social medias at _Mythunderstood on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow us individually at the Sarah Oliver and
You.
And-
At the Paul Bianchi.
yeah. It's just because I did yours and I thought you would do mine.
Well, I don't fucking want to.
Well, great. You can also please rate and review us on iTunes and also anywhere that you listen to podcasts, but
Mostly iTunes.
mostly iTunes. Yeah, you get it.
It's a big one.
Please share with your friends and use hashtags to help people find us as well, because those are super helpful. Hashtag Mythunderstood, hashtag Mythfit, hashtag Momus the Deceitful Troll God. You'll probably be the first one to use that one. So
Let's get that trending.
It's a race. We are a part of Dragon Wagon Radio, which is an independent podcast network. You can follow It's Dragon Wagon on all social media. And to support this very eclectic indie podcast community, you can visit the shop and you can look at all the great merchandise that we have there.
We got a new T-shirt.
We do have a new T-shirt.
It's got one of them god ladies. She holding a cup.
Oh, yeah, we have a shirt about Heavy. That's what she's talking about. And you can also show your support at dragonwagonradio.com/support, which, just go there and see what that means. But more specifically, you can help us by picking up things on our Amazon wish list.
Just Venmo me.
Just Venmo Sarah and watch that.
Watch me burn it all.
Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll have another podcast soon.
Any closing comments? Anything you want to say, my homie?
I'm gonna go look for a Momus mobile home as soon as I can.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
they're
true.
perfect, and they've got wheels.
We need it, especially in this day and age.
I don't know what that means.
Rent's expensive.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, kisses everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
So that was another exciting episode of Mythunderstood. Sarah, you might notice that there is a third person sitting next to us right now.
It's me.
It is Zen Zenith, not a tiny Mario. So you have a podcast.
I do.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's called The House Show, and it's a live concert event series and podcast. So we actually host shows at the Dragon Wagon Radio HQ, and then we record the whole thing. I interview the guests, we upload it to the internet, and it's really fun.
So where can we find this podcast that we're going to show up to next time?
That's a great question. You can find it at thehouseshowshow.com and on iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else good podcasts are sold.
Thanks for being here.
You are welcome.
Now be gone.
Mythunderstood.
Oh my God, this is my wet dream come true. Singing with the actual Mythunderstood singer.
It's Dragon Wagon.